Good morning. I was going to continue my series on asthma as these talks, but in between, I thought I would kind of touch back on the law of karma because sometimes when I happen to mention it to someone saying something and everything in life is related to the karma, the free will, and people have difficult time understanding it, accepting it, etc. This happens more often when somebody is very young. One of our neighbor's son, age 26, several years ago, 15 years ago or so, died with a car accident at a time of Thanksgiving. And no matter how much I can say law of karma, I myself have a difficulty accepting it when that young person loses the life. When you see the suffering in the children that are molested or born with congenital defects, heart, lips, or born with trisomy or Down syndrome, my heart breaks down because it's very, very difficult to explain why a human being under the kind God would suffer like that. And I truly don't know exactly the causal relationship. What I mean by that is I truly don't know what kind of behavior would lead to a certain product. And in the past, maybe 30 years ago or so, I used to make a joke saying, I wish there was a book like we have a current law system where we know if you steal something, what you get as punishment, if you beat something, what you get as punishment, if you kill someone, what kind of punishment you would get. I almost used to say that I wish I could know that book as to what kind of karma I would do and I would get what kind of punishment. Then I can decide whether I can afford to tolerate that punishment or I should be very, very careful. But the presumption that it is 1-to-1 ratio is the wrong one. The presumption that the entire thing happens because of you and you alone is the wrong one. And the presumption that you have no way to get out of it is also a wrong one. You have known a lot of people who were blind and turned out to be very successful. You know a lot of people who were handicapped and continue to be extremely successful. Steve Hawkins, who developed the paralysis or who had a ALS and was paraplegic or actually became quadriplegic almost, did a lot of stuff that average people can't even imagine, knowing about it and doing about it. So it is not always the resultant. But what I wanted to stress was that the law of karma does apply to everything, but it is not you steal a pencil or a pen, you get this punishment, you speed, you get that punishment, that kind of law. When we are born, several karmas, effects, actually come in our present life. So my current life is not a resultant of one episode of karma that I did in my last life. My current life is a product of several karmas that I have done in thousands of previous lives. So if there is only one force which is pulling a stone, it will go only in one direction. If there are two forces, it will go in a resultant. And if there are 10 forces, the movement of that stone will be in a different direction than if there was only one or two or three. So the movement of our life and the events that are going to come related to our karmas are resultant of several karmas that we did in the past and their effects in this particular life. Now, sometimes we see people that are suffering and they haven't done anything bad that we know of. And again, if you can think of a big pot where you have collected several karmas and you pick out a handful of, say, grains or cereals. Some of them may be good, some of them may be bad. And when you eat them, you will have a different effect. So the effect of current life is totally related to the several karmas coming to fruition, some good, some bad, some ugly. And they are again modified by the free will. When we are born to our parents, they go through a process of love, ambition, expectation, failure, sorrow, hatred. And this is also a resultant of our previous relationships with them, our debt, and our existence in the previous life as to what we gave, what we got from them before. So again, that also plays in a picture. The parents, if they have a karma that they're going to be frustrated, they're going to be happy, they're going to be elated, they're going to be successful, related to their kids' success, failure, happiness, that is again going to modify to some extent the child's behavior, the child's success, failure, or the things that happen in his life. So the child's life is partly related to the parents, partly related to the surrounding, partly related to various forces of karmas that are coming to the fruition, and of course the free will. So sometimes when I see someone who has a bad luck and they feel that what did I do wrong? I couldn't come out with a one single thing. I couldn't come out with 10 different things because I truly don't know how a effect of bad karma will come to fruition in this life in relation to your surroundings, your reaction, your free will, your parents, your neighbor, your brothers, sisters, etc., or even a place. Somebody who has a cleft palate or a cleft lip can be easily fixed in this country, in villages in Africa or even in India. This may take a monumental effort to do that because of the expense, availability of plastic surgery, and various things. Somebody who is born with congenital problems with the stomach will be detected, diagnosed very quickly in this country, would have a mini surgery as an infant within first couple of days, and they will be cured. Same thing may not happen in Africa. So the place that you are born is very important too. And that again is related to your karmas. We're not accidentally born. We're not accidentally born in a particular place. We're not accidentally born to a particular group of parents. We're not accidentally have certain brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts. We don't accidentally fight, love, hate people. Part of this is all related to our previous life's relationships. And that brings into the play our current life. But certainly we have ability to change it. If somebody is not behaving right with me, I have an ability to neglect it. I have an ability to fight with him. I have an ability to love him. I have an ability to let it go. How do I react in this particular life will determine my future lives, my future relationship with him or her. And we tend to forget it. So, a lot of people who were extremely pious, Jesus Christ, many saints that I know from India, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Vivekananda, Tukaram, they all had very strenuous, bad mortal lives. But they ultimately went to eternity because they exhausted their vasanas and effects of karma. So yes, I don't know one-to-one relationship. I don't think it exists. But we have to respond to it in a positive way and do a positive karma, and that will give us better effects. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it and subscribe. Have a nice day.